Babylon 5 came online in 2257 under the command of Geoffrey Sinclair, a war hero known for his role in the Battle of the Line. Sinclair's appointment as station commander surprised many within Earth Force Command. It was later revealed that the Minbari had significant influence in his selection as part of the conditions for funding Babylon 5's construction, as they considered him their preferred candidate. The year 2258 of Babylon 5 was anything but mundane. The station narrowly escaped destruction at the hands of the Vorlons when their ambassador, Kosh, faced an assassination plot. Babylon 5 also made first contact with a race known as the Soul Hunters, who were at the time stalking Minbari ambassador Delenn. Moreover, the station encountered the Ru Harus, an ancient race that served the Vorlons. This first contact led to the discovery of an ancient machine built by the Vorlons under Epsilon 3. A short time later, other members of this race arrived to claim the planet. This encounter quickly turned into a hostile but brief battle between Babylon 5 and the Hyperion heavy cruiser Hyperion herself, resulting in the extinction of the Ru Harus. Babylon 5 solved the mystery of its predecessor, Babylon 4, by rescuing the crew before it disappeared into a time rift. The station also proved its military value by successfully destroying a significant group of raiders. Closure came to the hunt for the last of the Dilger war criminals when War Master Jodder, aka Deathwalker, arrived at the station with an elixir promising immortality. She was killed by the Vorlons on her way to Earth, marking the end of the Dilger threat in the galaxy. With the successes of Babylon 5, President Luis Santiago made a special visit to the station as part of a goodwill tour aimed at improving relations with other races. During this visit, an assassination attempt occurred just as his ship, Earth Force One, was about to dock. Although this plot was foiled, it later became clear that it was not the main attempt. Station Security Chief Michael Garibaldi inadvertently uncovered another effort to kill the president but was shot and wounded by a member of his security team who was involved in the plot. By the time the station command staff realized what was happening, it was too late. As Earth Force One passed by the Io jump gate, a series of explosions ripped through the ship, killing everyone on board. Vice President Morgan Clark, who had left the ship a day earlier due to illness, quickly assumed control of the Earth Alliance and began making changes that would undo much of President Santiago's work. As 2258 came to a close, President Clark started issuing orders to restructure key leadership positions. One of his first actions was to recall Commander Sinclair from Babylon 5 and reassign him to Minbar as Earth's first ambassador. Sinclair would be replaced by Captain John Sheridan, another well-known war hero known to be disliked by the Minbari. This change was intended to help secure the station under Earth's control, as many believed the Minbari had too much influence while Commander Sinclair was in charge. As the Earth Alliance entered 2259, the Narn and Centauri were on the brink of war, and the League of Non-Aligned Worlds were beginning to turn on one another as whispers of a new power began to surface. In all, the new year would start with confusion and tragedy. In the year 2259, Captain John Sheridan was assigned as the new commander of Babylon 5, replacing Ambassador Geoffrey Sinclair, now stationed to Minbar as Earth's first ambassador. Just as he was taking command, Captain Sheridan had to deal with a significant political and tactical crisis regarding the Minbari war cruiser, the Trigati. The ship did not stand down as the other Minbari warships did at the end of the war, but instead went into self-exile for almost 12 years. While the Trigati crisis was resolved, it would be the first of many that would put Babylon 5 on the front lines. When the Explorer-class ship EAS Cortez was lost in hyperspace, Babylon 5 launched a risky but ultimately successful rescue of the ship, the first time in Earth's history. The station also hosted a massive number of mystical technomages as they passed through to their hiding sanctuary. One of the station's greatest honors was when the Centauri Emperor Turhan visited the Babylon 5 on a mission of peace. His intent was to end the built-up hostilities between the Centauri and the Narn by meeting with the Narn ambassador and apologizing to his people for the horrors inflicted upon the Narn people. But sadly, before this was to come, the Emperor's hearts gave out and soon died before he could deliver his message of peace. What few knew was that in the background, several factions were preparing to seize control of the throne and place the Emperor's mad nephew, Cartagia, in his place as a puppet. As Emperor Turhan closed his eyes for the last time, the Narn would declare war on the Centauri. The War of Retribution had begun. Babylon 5 got a massive upgrade in late 2259 when Major General Richard Franklin used the station as a staging area for a large military operation. The new upgrades included pulse cannons, energy mines, more particle beams, an improved interceptor system, targeting and tracking scanners, and the hangars were updated to accommodate the new Thunderbolt and Badger fighters that were now coming into service. The Narn-Centauri War would drag Earth into conflict on several occasions. 2 of them were at Babylon 5 because of the blockade in response to Centauri weapons smuggling, and when a Narn heavy cruiser arrived after the war seeking sanctuary. In both encounters, the Centauri ships were destroyed with a massive loss of life. Another encounter also took place in Earth space when the Centauri attacked a refugee convoy that had entered Earth space to avoid Centauri patrols. A small battle between Earth and the Centauri took place at the New London colony. But this encounter would result in it being the deadliest, with the loss of 2 Omega destroyers and 9 older Centauri ships. It was clear that the situation was getting out of control. The War of Retribution ended in October with the bombing of the Narn home world. The Centauri using mass drivers to bombard the planet drew great outrage from all races. These weapons were outlawed following the Dilger War. This resulted in Earth beginning formal talks with the Centauri. What most didn't know is that these talks were to establish a non-aggression pact between the 2 powers to avoid any future conflict. This treaty was one of many programs used by now President Morgan Clark to help strengthen his control over Earth and please his secret allies, the Shadows. As 2259 closes, conspiracies and plots are being made and exposed by all sides. It will only be a matter of time before they all explode into chaos.